し、捕まえた。
So each subsequent episode of Bleach following the quote-unquote massacre has been a overabundance of information. Each episode is just jam-packed with absolutely so much. And to make sure that I'm very clear, that's not a bad thing. So I want to make sure no one takes that as like, oh, I'm giving an opinionated negative stance on that. I think it's amazing to have these really rich episodes that are just full of just jam-packed of information, full of information to really divulge. And to be honest, even right now as I'm recording this, I'm talking to you, I'm still kind of absorbing everything that happened. So I'm going to do my best job to summarize an opinion, give my summary and then my opinion on it. I effed that up. I'm going to do my best to summarize what happened and then give my opinion on said events as I typically do. So, I guess we'll work our way from the top, okay? So, first and foremost, the episode gets started off with last week. We see Renji. He's talking to the guy who created all of the Asushi, or whatever you call them. Basically, he's the one who created the pre-forms of all the Zanpakuto. He drops a firebomb thing on there, basically letting us know that he is able to roughly track every single sword that he's ever created. Every single one he's ever created, pretty much, right? And since the inception of the current form of a Soul Reaper, every person who is a Soul Reaper who has a Zanpakuto originated from him. Now, he drops a very strong hint on us, basically hinting or, scratching on the surface that he's created every single one except for Ichigo's. Now, he didn't flat out say it, but the way he said it is that he said, we knew this wasn't going to work for Ichigo. Basically saying that the way that he got his Zanpakuto, Bank, all of it, it didn't necessarily stem from him as every other Soul Reaper has before. He said to basically fix what he's broken, he needs to go find his soul. So immediately we get hit with all that information. And I was like, God damn, like he needs to go find his soul, which we knew that Ichigo needs to learn about his origins, where he's from, what does he mean? Why could he holify? Why can he become a hollow? Why was he viewed in these ways? Why did he have Quincy powers, right? Why is he so, like, he needs to find out who he is, right? Then we see him, he's finally in front of his dad's clinic and stuff. He runs away from his dad. He goes to go find Miss Ikumi, which is the person that he worked for doing all those part-time side jobs and stuff like that. She sees that he's hurting, blah, 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 right? Then the dad comes, and he comes in his Soul Reaper outfit, and immediately Ichigo's like, shit, I know what this means, right? He leaves his substitute Soul Reaper badge thingy at Miss Akumi's, basically saying that he needs to re-earn it once again. At one point, I don't think this season, but I think at the end of what would have been the last season, 25th, 26th season, whatever the hell it was, when they were fighting, I think this occurred when head captain Yama, we originally thought that he had died, when there was that big fight in the Kurakuro stuff with all the eyes and stuff. I'm pretty sure that he told his dad, like, hey, because I think his dad was going to tell him at that point, he was like, hey, when you're ready, you tell me. I don't need to know anything right now. Well, now it's time. So now we learn about his mom, right? And we learn about his mom, which was Masaki Kurosaki. She was the last of the Kurosaki. She was a middle schooler / potentially high schooler, right? I'm going to say high schooler just to give dad benefit of the doubt here. And we find out that she was actually being caretaken by Uryu's dad. We find out that she was being taken care of or taken in by Uryu's family, which she was at a similar age of Uryu's dad, but she was being caretaken by Uryu's mom, which is insane that happened. And they have like a whole Quincy army there from everybody from the maids. There's like a Quincy hierarchy. Incredible, nuanced world building from the Quincy side of things. So we get to see all of that, and essentially we find out that, hey, she's pretty powerful and she has a lot of potential when it comes to the Quincy stuff, but she's the last of the Kurosaki line, essentially. So all of that, 2 thumbs up, 10 out of 10. Incredible world building, incredible character building there. Then we see Ichigo's dad. We see that he was, the captain of Squad 10 before, which is the one where Dragon Boy is. We see a younger version of them. Captain and vice captain of the current Squad 10. We see younger version of them. We see that there was an issue at that time, at that period of time happening to where Soul Reapers were dying. Come to find out, again, incredible way that they've weaved all these stories. It comes to find out that Soul Reapers were dying. The reason being is this was at the beginning stages of Aizen and his goons basically trying to do the holification stuff, and they were messing around and doing all that. Essentially, they were using Soul Reapers and using their bodies to holify them, their dead corpses and stuff. So they were doing experiments, so that's why a lot of Soul Reapers were dying in the real world. So because of the nature of this, Shiba goes to investigate himself, Ichigo's dad. And amazing stuff that we see Aizen come back. I love Aizen. I think he's one of the most incredible villains of all time. So I thought that was absolutely insane. We then get some more world building. So that 10 out of 10. We then get some more world building for Uryu's dad once again. Ryu, I think is what they were calling it. I don't know if that's what Uryu calls him, but Ryu. I guess Ryu. I guess it makes sense. But we find out that at some point, Uryu's dad was gonna make the sacrifice to marry Misaki, and that didn't happen, essentially. And we get hints that potentially, I don't even know who Uryu's mom is, but we get hints that, hey, it might be this maid that seems very close to Uryu's dad. Again, world building 10 out of 10, character building 10 out of 10. Do I think that's Uryu's mom? Absolutely. Same hair color as her. I think that is absolutely nuts. Then we get to see them basically reacting in a certain way where Misaki wants to go and fight Hollows. Essentially, she has a pure heart of gold. They have a hierarchy to where it's like, A, you don't go fight anything until all the Soul Reapers die. And B, there's a hierarchy to where like the Quincy grunts go first, and then the top of the food chain, which is them, they go last if need be, kind of thing. She says, F you. She goes anyways. She goes and she finds Captain Shiba, and he's fighting this big hollow that Aizen and them were basically experimenting with. There was something that was growing inside of the hollow as part of their experimentation. She kind of gets overpowered by this hollow thing. She allows it to bite her. Reason being is to get in really close proximity. She takes it out, but before she does, by the bite that happened, the hollow passes on whatever he was manifesting inside him. He passes it on to her. That's exactly how our boy Ichigo got his hollow powers. It was passed on to him. It was passed on to her, which got passed on to him via DNA, blood, all the other stuff. Incredible world building stuff. Then she finally meets a Soul Reaper for the first time. Shiba doesn't overreact at the Quincy stuff. He's shocked by it, but he doesn't overreact. He's like, oh, okay, I never met one of you guys before. And that's how their love spurred. Hopefully we get to see more of that in the continuation of it. But I hope that I kind of summarized that as best as I could. I know I missed a lot of specifics, but that was kind of intentional to not spend too much time summarizing something you've already seen. So overall, I think this episode is absolutely incredible. We got to see Ichigo's mom for the first time. Very reminiscent of Urahime. Very reminiscent of it. It makes sense that Ichigo would love somebody like that. Essentially, we get the big reveal. That he's part Quincy, which we saw. Already with his fight with Gualkazaku, whatever that guy's the Quincy head name is. So now we get to officially know that, okay, he's a little Hollow, a little Soul Reaper, a little Quincy, basically all the three powers that are of the world, societies, everything. They're all reminiscent into him, which is why Ichigo is so special, which is why his Bankai couldn't be taken, which is why he was able to repel certain things using Quincy powers, which is why he has the holification stuff. Like, it all comes together and absolutely makes sense. So, jam-packed episode, incredible episode, 10 out of 10. I'm like, this just has not missed. Each and every single episode, I am just thoroughly impressed and blown away. And this is just another drop in the hat of me being blown away. Like, I had a hat on before I hit record, and it's gone. So, like, yeah. All right, my friends, I'm going to see you guys on the next episode. I think we have one more left, potentially. No, two more left. I think we have 2 more episodes left. Yeah, we have 13 episodes of the season. We have 2 more left, so I'll see you for the next 2 weeks. All right, my friends.